Welcome, everyone, to Authors on the Air, and I am absolutely thrilled to give you the snippet about Heat 2, co-authored by the amazing Meg Gardiner. I am so excited to be here and chatting with her about her latest book, which I saw on her blog hit
number one on the New York Times best-selling list.
Number one. So exciting.
I'm still stunned.
I am really, really happy for you. You've had already a long and illustrious career, and to be able to launch this book to such critical acclaim must have been really, really exciting for you. So I know this is an action-packed saga. Literally, it starts with a bang and does not let up. I mean, it just is constantly moving forward with amazing characters. What I think I like best about it is no one is all good or all bad. I mean, there is such okay, let me rephrase that. There are a few really, really bad people, but
a few.
the main characters, the complexity of the main characters, where you can portray such a, the intensity and the fact that not everybody is all evil, basically. They're not, they have reasons for why they're doing, and it's so well portrayed. Why don't you give us just a little bit of, tell us how this began, how you got involved in a collaboration with Michael Mann, and why now? Why this book? Why now? And what's coming after this?
Well, Heat, the original film from 1995, was written and directed by Michael Mann and has become a classic. I think it's the best heist movie ever made. And I found out Michael had been wanting for a long, long time to expand the world of Heat into what happened before and what happens to the survivors afterwards. And he wanted to do it as a novel. He is an extraordinarily accomplished writer. And until now, all his work had been in film and television. So he was interested in collaborating with someone who had experience writing a story on the page at 450 pages of prose, which is a different discipline than writing screenplays. And I have experience writing novels. I had never collaborated, but our literary agent put us together, and we talked for a long time about his concept for the novel, how he saw the characters from Heat, the relentless detective Vincent Hanna, the crew, the Highline bank robbers led by Neil McCauley, portrayed in the movie by Robert De Niro, and Val Kilmer playing Chris Hurlis, how they came to be who they are, where they had come from, and then where he saw them going after the film was over. So I talked about how I could help him realize his ambitions for this big project, and we outlined it. We talked. This was during COVID, so we were emailing, sending notes, outlines, thoughts, ideas, talking on the phone for a long time, and then just started writing. And it was amazing. It was a huge challenge. It's a big story. It crosses decades. It crosses continents. It has a lot of characters, the main characters from the film, and some new characters, both good and bad, as you mentioned, men and women. Who it was fun to write. Everybody on all sides of the law, as you pointed out. These are all human beings. They're complex, and the challenge for a writer is to show these people as I think of them as real human beings. I don't know how you feel about your characters. So to understand how they came to be who they are, how, what are their dreams, their fears, their longings, their losses, and to bring readers into their lives and make it feel like it's a real, powerful, emotional experience, and a thriller, a roller coaster ride, pedal to the metal.
Well, and that's what's so important for our genre, is to make sure that people are turning the pages, because that is really what a thriller ultimately is. One of the things that the book really does have that cinematic feel, because it is very when I say visual, it's very, you can picture it as you're reading it,
That's exactly
what is going on, which is what
Thank
you wanted to do, I'm sure. But it is still a different medium, because when you watch movies, you're getting the facial expressions and the background, the everything all at once. Literally the picture is 1,000 words.
You're getting the soundtrack, you're getting the music, you're getting it all simultaneously. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a overarching, which is why I love going to the movies, is because you get that complete experience. However, obviously I love books. So, and a book is a completely different medium. You get a lot more depth in a book. So because I think readers and moviegoers would be very interested in this. What is the kind of the pros and cons of when you're dealing with something that is so cinematic, to make sure you get the depth without overwriting? I think it would be kind of an interesting prospect.
Yeah, since I've started writing, I realized that I had to learn how to make things feel cinematic on the page a long time ago, because readers need a writer to try to help them visualize it. So how you translate something that's by a director who's known for his emotional and visual impact, and the way everything comes together, the characters, the soundtrack, the sound of bullets, hitting sheet metal, whatever, that you have to work through first, making sure that readers care for the characters. Nothing's gonna matter if they don't. That what's at stake for the characters. What are they going to win or lose? Is it going to be their lives? It's going to be their families. Once you have readers, you get readers to buy in on the characters, then you know how to do this as well, Allison. If you're coming toward an action scene, you know how to speed up the pace, even with making things more terse, or the prose more staccato. You can do it. Make readers feel like things are accelerating. In a tense scene like that, you don't necessarily want to have a lot of internal monologue for characters who are perhaps trying to escape a deadly some kind of a deadly location that and they only have a few seconds to do it. We're not going to have like a flashback to their childhood at that moment, probably. So
no, very good point. And,
so
and
you
also
just
they don't
it.
do that a lot in movies either.
Right.
Have to, you're building up to that, but in a book you have a little bit more flexibility to be able to incorporate those kinds of things. Where in movies it's all there. It's all raw. Now, one of the things I actually made notes because as I was doing my research after I finished the book, and I just wanted to make sure, because obviously I've known you personally from Thriller Fest, but I've known your books a lot longer. You're an accomplished writer in your own right. This isn't your first novel. This isn't you definitely have a great, and I love your Unsub series. It's a fabulous series. But collaboration is a completely different tool. And one of my best friends is JT Ellison, and she collaborated with Catherine Coulter. So, and I know Catherine very well too. So I know it's a different process. And then this is just being gossipy, I'd just be very interested to know, and I'm sure readers would be very interested to know, what were the pros and cons of collaborating? What was the best thing you learned from the process, and what's something that maybe you would want to change?
I can only speak about this collaboration with Michael Mann, who had been an idol of mine for a long time. I'm a huge fan of all his films and television work. So it wasn't a con, but it was a sense of feeling a bit daunted at the start to know that I was going to work with somebody who was so renowned, and I felt a sense of responsibility that I was being invited into the world he had created. And I needed to understand who the characters were and how he saw them and how he saw their place in the world, and make sure that I really got it. So that was particular to this book, as compared to two authors perhaps who decide to create something from scratch. But I've never done any more research than I have for this book. I always do a lot of research and love it. but Michael Mann is known for the depth of the research he carries out to create a sense of authenticity and the legend's accurate. And so we've got a crew of bank robbers performing a tunnel heist. So he thought we should talk to a bank robber about how you'd retired. He's done his time, served his and repaid his debt to society, but he was happy to tell us how he might have done it. And we rode out with a couple of LAPD sergeants late one night in Los Angeles to get a real sense of the vibe in the neighborhoods where we were setting the final chunk of the novel. So it was a lot of work. I was also delighted to see that though Michael has a reputation as being very exacting as a director, but as a collaborator, he is very open and gave me a lot of space to offer my suggestions and to just run with something on a rough draft. And it got to be really fun as we started sending pages and chapters and scenes back and forth to send something off and have it come back and see that his imagination is just on fire. And that, I said, well, look, maybe they can steal a car. And he's like, well, why don't they get a car transporter and take, a whole load of cars where they want to go. So that kind of just really amplification and upping the game showed me that I should never be afraid to expand my reach.
That's fascinating. So that's actually a really good lesson. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have, one book or 20 books or 40 books, you're always learning as a writer.
Yes.
You're always trying to find new elements and new things to put into your novels. Would you say that, it sounds like you're leaving this experience better than you started it, and taking it hopefully to your future books, everything that you've been able to learn.
Exactly. And it was challenging, but in the very best way. And to go back in time, to go forward in time across decades, to put characters into a younger version of themselves where they are less mature, more volatile, and then to take somebody forward a decade and try to say, like, okay, their life has been blown up completely. Are they going to go back to their old ways? Are they going to try to become something more? So that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of challenging. Getting inside the head of several leading men was also a lot of fun. I mean, I've written a lot of books where with female leads. So really understanding the guys was important. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's challenging, but it's also it's fun to do it. And when you do it well, it's even more fun. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now, because we're running down on time, but I have to ask this. Well, first of all, are you going to be at Thriller Fest this coming year? Do you know?
Yes. Will you?
Okay. Yes, I'm going to be there. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I love Thriller Fest. It's my absolute favorite. So as I was doing my research, I was reading everything on your website to make sure that I understood you. I noticed a little tidbit that you've won Jeopardy.
Yes.
And I love these little details about authors, and I know readers love them too. It's like, oh, really? That is so cool. My non-claim to fame is that I made it to the second level in trying out for Teen Jeopardy, and then I didn't make it to the final round. So that really sucks that I couldn't even get on the show. But
yeah,
I did make
you
it
can
through
still
the first
try.
interview process. I did try, and I was 16, so it's like that was fun. But Boyd Morrison, who is a good friend of mine, who you probably know, also is on Jeopardy. So as I was reading this, I thought, wouldn't it be fun if there has to be a third author in the thriller world that's been on Jeopardy? So we have to get the three of you together, you, Boyd, and one other person that I don't know who exists yet, but I will find him, and have like a thriller Jeopardy at Thriller Fest. Wouldn't that be like totally fun? And you could have Lee Child asking all the questions.
Yeah, no, that'd be, if we don't get too competitive with each other. It's easy to play a game with total strangers. We'll see.
Pam just said that Brendan Dubois has been on. So now we have our three people. And I'm going to find the perfect host, and I'm going to bring it up to Kim, and she's going to hate me. Allison, why are you trying to make my life more difficult? But I think it would be a lot of fun. Ooh, Pam wants to ask the questions. That would be so much fun. And I think it would get everybody excited. You know, we could have like a, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I thought of that. So I'm putting you on the spot, because if I say, well, Meg's going to do it, what are you, chicken boy? You're not going to do it. You know, it's like, I know I'm putting you on the spot. Okay, so before we wrap up here, because I want to go back there. So now Heat 2 is available now.
Yes.
And wherever books are sold, it's available in audio, ebook, hardcover. And are you going to be out anywhere in the world promoting it where people can see you?
Basically going to be in Austin, Texas, where I live. And
okay.
my co-author is in Italy, filming a movie. So we are just promoting it digitally. And but if anybody wants personalized signed copies, they can order from Book People in Austin. Otherwise, find it wherever you like to get your books, at a store or library.
And your website, social media, where anybody can reach you?
Yes, meggardiner.com, meggardiner.com. I'm on Twitter at meggardiner1, numeral 1, Facebook, Meg Gardiner Books, and Instagram sometimes when I can figure out how to take a picture, Meg Gardiner 1.
Okay, awesome. And now, what do you have coming out? I mean, I know this is a huge book that probably took a long time to get out, but I'm sure you're going to have another book in your own series. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yes, Unsub 4, about my FBI profiler, Caitlin Hendricks, will be out in 2023. More details on that soon. And then in the meantime, I'll be writing something new.
Awesome. I'm really glad to hear number 4 is coming out. That is very exciting for all of us fans. So I want to thank you so much for joining us and joining Author on the Air. We absolutely love being able to interview accomplished authors like you, and I love being able to chat.
Thank you so much. It's always great to chat with you, Allison.
So thank you very much for coming on. Thank Pam and Authors on the Air for having us, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And please go get Heat 2 wherever you can find it.